Arwe Legate and the victorious legion. Few legions have earned their names as thoroughly as yours. It is good to see you again. Legio Ferrata arrived and was disbanded a week ago. I trust by now you know the procedure. You have to discuss certain things with your companions, no doubt. Let me know when you're ready.
Domine? Your frustration is natural, but I think the personal stakes involved cloud your mind. Surely you have solved more difficult riddles in your life. Know that we have done all we can. It is time to cast the die and see how it lands. That's a valid plan. Lurko will surely not expect it, and I believe therefore he will be ill-prepared to counter such actions. However, it would also imply a lack of trust in the very institutions we are trying to protect. Furthermore, it will involve a great deal of combat, and quite likely our death. I believe this is exactly what Vitellius Lurko would say. Young man, I've been taking care of your family since long before you were born. Now focus on the task ahead and make sure they never need me again. I have lived a full and bountiful life. This old man has witnessed so many things. I've found everything I've been looking for. Death is not to be feared. If you think I've been following you because I'm your Zeus, you're still a child in mind. I've been free for a long time now.
We should move. Then we shall suffer, but it will not be due to your actions. I am no simple service. We chose to follow you, whether we like it or not. A man carves his own destiny. If I shall suffer as a result, so be it. Ask yourself, what is my enemy doing right now? He who is on the offensive always has the advantage. I'm a warrior, not a strategist. I simply think we should act now while we have the initiative. He who strikes first usually wins. I am not in your place, and for that I am happy. You are not my enemy. Lurko is. If I was Lurko, I would try to kill you now. He has everything to lose if he does not. Old Cineros says being free is not a legal status, but a state of mind. I earned my freedom before we met, but it was you who taught me to be truly free. For that, I'm thankful.
We are at the end now. I think we have enough evidence to get that bastard exiled forever. We will stride into the Pomerium as civilians once more, with pride in our eyes. What do you mean? Walk into Rome with swords in our hands? That would make us look like villains. Indeed, that whole mess with Lucia taught me that. So then the question is what you prefer, the truth or what's written? They will certainly take some convincing. It is unfortunate that we had to kill a few Praetorians. But let us not forget the fact that they were criminals. That is not an option. We'll need to make sure everyone understands what happened. We cannot count on the facts to speak for themselves. It's been a pleasure, genuinely. You always stood by my side, even if it was against your own interests. I will never forget that.
Tell me, why do we not just march whole legion into Rome and push Lurko off throne? It has special chair for man in charge, does it not? Call it what you will. It is not a thing to be done lightly. You have chance now to make things better. Rome is not as I had hoped, before I saw it with my own eyes. There is so much squalor and suffering. In Wild, it is possible for man to have dignity, even in poverty. In city, this is not so. I think so too. People in charge now. They benefit from uncertainty and fear. You could bring stability and peace. Anyway, I don't think I will stay here after we are done. It's time for me to face my past and move on.
This is a bad idea. It's what I would do. Lurko is a dangerous foe because he knows exactly when to lie and when to tell the truth. He will tell the Senate that we have murdered his entire Praetorian Guard. You know that's not a lie. I've seen no evidence to suggest the man has one. People will still be able to oppose you. And this time you'll have to kill a lot of people, not just those who deserve it. This time our victims will be Roman. Last time I saw Lurko, he was angry, but he was not in a panic. There's another trick up his sleeve. I'm certain of it. There is always a way. The years I've spent with you taught me that over and over again. I'm good at killing people, and you somehow keep attracting people in need of killing. What I've done for you still seems less than what you've done for me.
Shall we store your weapons at the villa, as usual? What do you mean? You can't enter Rome with your legion? It's simply not done. If you decide to do this, you'll be a villain. No one will be able to stop you.
I will. I followed you everywhere, done everything you asked of me. And by Jupiter, everyone in this legion knows I will follow you to the darkest depths of Tartarus if needs be. But this is where I draw the line. I shall not be your partner in crime if you intend to attack the very fabric of our society. Rome is a republic of its people. The consequences of your actions will revert centuries of progress. I refuse to be a part of that. You'd be setting a dangerous precedent for all aspiring tyrants in the future. Being virtuous is easy when moral actions benefit you. Everyone's good and kind when it's convenient. What reveals one's character is what you do when it's not convenient. Cross the Rubicon this way, and I can no longer stand by your side. That is unfortunate.
It seems you have reached a decision. I was worried you might say that.
A pity I placed my trust in you. What a disappointment you turned out to be.
Silence! You are behaving like chickens in a basket. Remember who you are. You are Victrix, undefeated. We will win.
The men are unsure, Legate. Especially now that Aquilinus left us. Many are having second thoughts.
No one will come after you. But know you will die as cowards.
We must be quick and deadly. The Legion must move in and take control of the city.
Disbanded, as Victrix was meant to be. What we've done breaks with all tradition.
I think he made his reasons abundantly clear. Maybe. But what if you can't? I understand the choice you have made. I get the idea of temporarily sowing chaos to instill order in the long term. It's a price we have to pay. But don't let Kaizo's life be a part of that payment. We've all been through too much together. Don't be naive. We have broken one of the oldest and most important taboos of the Republic. We are invaders of our own city now. She's certainly a valuable hostage. We should solve that problem before we proceed.
We will need to move quickly if we want to grab your sister. A handful of us could do that. I believe this to be a matter of life and death. For Skywala is undoubtedly holding her hostage right now. It is no use dwelling on the past. We must stay in the present to shape the future.
We will need to send a small group to Skywala's villa, regardless. We will capture him and liberate your sister if possible. With that out of the way, we can focus our attention on Lurko, our primary target.
He's not the only problem. We'll need to control public opinion. Eliminating the dictator will not be enough. We must take care of the Pontifex Maximus as well. As the religious leader of Rome, he has the power to mobilize people against us.
I think he's not your biggest fan. You know he's held a grudge since the Asia campaign.
Keep in mind Коттой is an Optimus. What we've done goes against everything he believes in.
Only him and the Vestal Virgins are allowed to enter the inner sanctum. But old traditions didn't stop us from bringing Victrix across the Rubicon, so... Everyone believes in one god or another. Point is, people listen to him.
We can be very convincing.
It's a good plan. Once Коттой is out of the way, there is no need to worry about the opposition he might drum up against us.
Once we're ready, we'll need to secure the Senate with overwhelming force and neutralize Vitellius Lurko.
We all know what is meant, I think.
It is very likely that the Senate will be full of senators. Vitellius Lurko might use them to shield himself. Keep in mind, we may also encounter ordinary citizens trying to protect the Senate against our assault. Careful. Not all who side with your foe are truly against you.
I believe there's not much else to discuss. The longer we wait, the more we risk failure.
You don't enter the arena expecting to lose. We will win, as always.
The risk is great. But if we win, to rule all of Rome, that would make it all worthwhile.
I expect nothing but surprises.
I believe there's only one way to find out.
As you command.
I should have expected this, you arrogant bastard of a fallen family. What about all the things you have done? Are you willing to burn down the Republic? At least he respected our established traditions. All this bloodshed. And for what? The lesser of two evils. Is that you? Not the best way to stir a man's heart. But I can be pragmatic when necessary. I shall yield.
How dare you! Don't you know who I am? Hey, who's this? Hercules! Kill them too! We're losing! Who's there? Get away from me! I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them. If anyone moves, they get an arrow. think I was doing? She is my wife. Of course I've been protecting her.
Forgive my husband's tone. We thank you for your timely assistance, brother. I don't understand why these lictors were trying to arrest me.
Not lictors. Look at their clothes. These are legionari. Ferrata.
You're doing what? Have you finally lost your mind? Oh, may Minerva bring your sense back. You have started a civil war.
I know the feeling. Let us hope your actions do not come back to haunt you as it happened to me. I must get Liliana and the children to safety, but my brother will not stop. You understand? Please do not kill him. For all the evil he's done, Weebius is still my blood. Besides, living in the shadow of his own failure is a fate worse than death for him. I'm not proud of this, but I understand if you're not willing to keep him alive.
With the Pontifex Maximus out of the picture, our legion has been able to enter the Pomerium. Victrix now controls all roads leading into and out of Rome. That's troubling news. I'll put the word out among our Centuriones and gather more information about this. If Ferrata is mustering, we'll have a big problem on our hands.
Wise words, Domine. The city is still not under our complete control. As the current consul, Lurko remains a formidable threat. Our actions have forced even those who hated him before to take his side.
There are many important men now trapped in this city, with good reason to move against us. Politically, or even militarily. Let's hear some names. He's a shifty one. There's no knowing where he might be.
I'm told he hides in the Campus Martius. Perhaps we can pay a visit and rid ourselves of him for good.
It seems like Gowinus would prefer to be on the winning side. That we can use to our advantage. He commands no less than 4 legions in Hispania. If he somehow finds a way to bring word to them...
We need to take him out.
Or win him over.
If possible. Are you kidding? There's no way Cato will support you after what we've done.
Then we must take them out as well.
Let us not rule out any alternatives to violence just yet. Given a compelling argument, we may sway the senators to join our side.
We don't have much time. We'll have to split up.
You are needed here, Legate. Our true quarry awaits us at the Senate. We have preparations to make.
We should think carefully about who we send where. We may yet be able to solve this situation without bloodshed.
I can do that, yes.
I have been looking forward to ending him.
I should hope so. I have come to know them both quite well over the years.
I have a feeling the end will be messy. We will need all the help we can get. We control the peripheries of the city, but the inner districts are still putting up stiff resistance. Clearing a path to the Senate may prove very difficult. Valete, may Fortuna be on your side.
Salve, Cineros. What a pleasant surprise. I expected your Dominus to send an assassin.
I would disagree. If the virtuous represent an obstacle to those of lesser virtue, surely it must be clear that the less virtuous would benefit from the death of my dear friend Cato.
Are you trying to get me killed?
I'm merely stating the obvious, leaving no room for a nasty surprise. Old Cineros here might be a healer, but those who deliver health also have the ability to withhold it.
Very well. I am intrigued. Make your case. Such a circumstance is hypothetical. My principles define me as a citizen. In the unlikely scenario that I have to break those principles, then I guess I'd be a broken man. At that point, the Cato you know dies, and a new Cato is born. One that I'd not be fond of.
However, you must accept that opinions and ideas change over time. By that definition, we die and are reborn regularly.
Loyalty is a virtue, but loyalty to a dishonest person may be the same as being dishonest. Or worse. You mean to say that ends justify the means? That could only be true if you consider actions in isolation. Each wrong action can lead to unexpected harm no matter what end your goal is. A curious stance, proposing one must be able to recognize lesser and greater wrongs. Very few people can claim to be enlightened, but I guess your Dominus is an enlightened person. He must have been forced to take the actions he did. Very well, I shall support him.
Well, that is a great relief. I will stand by Cato's decision as well, of course. If there is any doubt left in your mind, my friend, remember, as long as we are alive, we can work hard on the Senate floor to defend and preserve the Republic.
Halt!
What is the meaning of this? Who are you? That is very kind of your Magister. Give him my regards. I assume there was another reason for you to kill my guards, then? Curious. Especially considering Vitellius Lurko is the consul of Rome. Why should I support your rebellion? Be that as it may, your legatus is also a criminal, and the evidence for that is somewhat more compelling. Need I remind you that you are the perpetrators of an ongoing occupation of Rome? I don't. I'm just watching the situation unfold. At the end of the day, the winner will make the law. Fair enough. But is this a reason to rebel against the Senate? Your skill in rhetorics is quite impressive, Gladiator. Very well, I shall refrain from interfering. But your legatus will have to pay for the heads you've collected here today. You've certainly made your Magister proud, at least.
did you get past the guards? I had archers and lookouts everywhere. Why are we talking? You're here to kill me, aren't you? Somehow I find it difficult to believe. But go ahead then. Ask your questions. He doesn't. That's why I was never instrumental to his plans. His loss, if you ask me. I prefer working alone. Felix was always better at handling people. My current contract is quite lucrative. However, I'd be willing to change my mind for, let's say, 10,000 denarii, though I doubt you can afford it. Surprising. You've secured yourself a new ally, then.
The hour of reckoning is at hand. A grim task awaits us.
It's time to formally declare martial law. Not every citizen will take kindly to that, I know I wouldn't. So let's make sure we control the market when the news is read. There'll be more than just civilians. Our enemies will do everything they can to fuel the flames against us.
Many of the senators who still oppose us employ gladiators for their own protection, and other less moral purposes. Of course, they all have their own lictors as well.
If they are not with us, they are our enemies.
There's more. We've received reports that individual men from Legio Ferrata have taken up arms against us. We believe they have retrieved their equipment from the Gallic War.
All of Ferrata would be no match for a single cohort of Victrix. A few scattered Legionari will pose no threat.
It's not just about the Legionari themselves, Bestia. They might rally the citizens against us.
Our legion and theirs did not exactly get along. But still, our people will not be happy to fight Roman Legionari.
To the best of our ability, we're trying. But to be honest, Legio Victrix is not used to this kind of combat. The Forum Romanum and the rest of the Capitolium is still contested. Only those few who have taken up arms for Lurko of their own initiative. Unlike Legio Victrix, they were disbanded as per tradition. It would be very difficult for Lurko to quickly muster his forces.
I would really think thrice before underestimating that man, Риме.
Better than expected. Not a single drop of bloodshed so far. Under the circumstances, I have to admit I'm impressed. There has been some collateral damage in taking control of the streets, but so far the body count was kept to a minimum.
A declaration of martial law is just so many words. It means nothing unless we speak from the very heart of Rome. We need to be at the Senate.
The consul is holed up at the Senate with his remaining supporters. It may be the most heavily defended building in the world at this point. But you're right, Sirway. That's where we must go.
Easier said than done. Sure. Lurko fortified himself at the Senate, and what awaits us is probably the toughest fight we have ever seen. But that's no reason not to be cheerful about it.
The Forum is heavily fortified indeed. Our Legionari are trying to keep the Capitolium secure, but the consul called upon the citizens of Rome.
They are eager to defend their republic, with their lives, if necessary. Best of luck to us all.
In their eyes, we're nothing but bandits now. We must make our declaration of martial law near the Senate.
I agree. A group of us should be tasked with protecting the newsreader. Otherwise, if the people don't silence him, the consul's lictors will.
Sounds fine to me. But those brave fools from Ferrata still worry me. We need a dedicated group to run interference in case they crash our party.
The most difficult task will be the main assault. You must fight your way through all their defenses to reach the Senate.
I believe even the gods are watching this with interest.
All right. Time is of the essence. No more talk. You have all heard the legatus. Prepare for the final push.
Good people of Rome, martial law is in effect for the safety of all citizens. Groups of more than 3 men shall not congregate in public spaces. A curfew is in effect. Any person found on the streets after dark will be subject to summary judgment.
That's preposterous! Who is making these decrees?
Long live the Legatus of Legio Victrix.
I'm a citizen of Rome. We have rights. Down with you and your legatus!
Vitellius Lurko is consul, not you. Your decrees are worthless.
Seeking only peace and the unnecessary shedding of Roman blood, Webius Vitellius Lurko has been publicly implored to accept truce and lay down his arms.
Take your truce and stick it up your ass!
Let's show them how we feel about their curfew. Who's with me?
Oh no.
Form up! Protect the newsreader!
That's right! Please protect the newsreader!
We're citizens! We have rights!
Out of the streets! It's not
Hunkering down.
I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them. If anyone moves, they get an arrow.
Those Legionari, those are Ferrata's colours. Lurko's men are here.
I bet if we kill enough of them, the crowd will disperse.
You're right. We may not even need to kill the citizens.
direction covered.
Doesn't seem like the other team has things under control.
We have a task. Let us focus on it.
We can slip in here, through the alley. There's more cover that way.
Our catapults will make short work of those barricades on the corner.
Victor! Can someone help me?
You'll be fine.
Save your arrows until you see the whites in their eyes!
What happened here?
You can't let me take him.
Support me, and we shall be triumphant!
We just need to reach the Senate.
this direction covered. Stay in cover. And wait for the enemy.
You're nothing but common bandits!
I require help. You'll be fine. Come on. I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them. If anyone moves, they get an arrow.
The mob is scattering! Let's go see if the others need help getting through the barricades.
This direction covered.
Hold still, my Rupert.
anyone moves, they get an arrow. Fight to us! The bigger they are, the faster they fall. Medicaid!
Keep up with me!
The path is clear. The Forum Romanum is ours for the taking.
Nothing stands between us and Lurko now. Are you ready?
Good. Let's go kill a tyrant.
Respect the sanctity of the Senate. Leave now or you will regret it. You know I cannot do that.
They can't do it because they have a sense of duty and honor. We've been waiting for you. I hoped you wouldn't come. Foolishly, perhaps. Whatever's necessary. You have already crossed the first line. I will not let you cross the last. I do remember what you did for me, and I'm grateful for that. Maybe you're right. But what you're doing here now, it's not right. Not even your reason for doing it is right. I have to stop you. Perhaps you're right. I don't know anymore.
His confidence is wavering. Keep pushing him. I think he can be convinced.
Stand with us against him now. This is the chance we've been waiting for.
Violence is your solution to everything. Your upbringing has left you with only one way to solve any problem. The only thing Cineros has taught you is how to dress up your actions with pretty words.
I have not always been right. I have made mistakes, and I have been confused. But I have come a long way since we first met, Centurio. And yet you seem to have stayed put.
Don't let his silver tongue talk you into abandoning your principles, Centurio. Remember who you are, what you stand for. We will defend the Republic together.
The Republic? I heard you somehow convinced Cato and Cicero to support you. Or at least to get out of your way. Perhaps there is hope for the Republic yet then. Cato has always been a good judge of character. If I'm still uncertain, perhaps I should look to him for guidance. Very well. I shall fight with you. But know this. The moment you turn into a tyrant, I will be the first to stop you.
Never trust a traitor, my father used to say. This will not change anything, you know. Just give up. I will let your friends go, and grant you a merciful death. You dare leave your consul's side? Cowards! I suppose you think that honor will be yours. A true king is a servant of his people. You are a servant to your vengeance. That's the only reason you're here. At least you'd save the honor and standing of your family, and not be branded a traitor in the annals of history. No one is laughing. You think you can murder a consul in cold blood and get away with it? They will crucify you. Surely this can't be your plan. Not even you can be this reckless. Nothing you do here will change a thing. Even if I die, you lose.
Julio, don't do this!
I thought you were on our side!
Stand down. Just drop your weapons and leave. Nobody other than Lurko needs to be hurt.
You left yourself wide open!
Too much! We're losing!
There is strength in unity.
Please, follow my finger. Yes, you'll be all right.
By the order of Vitellius Lurko, I command you to yield!
I must respectfully decline, young man.
You're coming this way! Run!
Don't you understand? You have no chance to win.
Saw that coming from a mile away.
There was no glory in this battle.
Maybe we have gone too far.
History will not judge us kindly for this. Come on, let's deal with that son of a dog.
Can you not hear the angry mob outside? Can you hear the cries of the helpless that you swore to protect? When will you understand that everything you fought for... What is happening?
The roof is
falling. Seek cover!
The fury of the gods.
Is everyone all right?
We're all fine, but not everyone in here was so lucky.
We have to get out of here.
Good. One final push.
You madman! Will nothing make you see reason? Come then. Claim your vengeance. Defeat me today, you will only have to take my place. Without true leadership, the Republic will be destroyed.
And so what? He will be a far better ruler than you. Long live the Emperor of Rome! I will show you all how Scythian fights!
There will always be more obstacles for me to conquer, and I will conquer them! Tiberius, you really are a sight for sore eyes. Where's your family, traitor?
Your hubris has awaited Nemesis for a long time, Livius. I am here to assist my family, but that's not you.
You would betray your own brother for the sake of a whore! Let us cleanse this bloodline, then! Who's there? Get away Mars! From me! Take you all!
I shall rise again.
The future of the world is at stake. Rome is a beacon of light in a vast dark sea of barbarism.
Go on, hit me again.
Oh, just lie down and rest my eyes.
You walked right into that.
To answer so many philosophical questions.
Without my efforts, you will succumb to sectarianism and corruption! I'm ready to loose as soon as I see them.
Oh, was that as painful as it looked?
I've got this direction covered.
Some of this is my blood.
Tartarus with this! I'm getting out of here! You've been dreaming of this since the day your father died. By Jupiter's beard! When will you finally understand it never was about you or your sad excuse for a family? I had plans. Great plans for Rome. The Republic is crumbling, but the establishment always hates the revolutionary. Your father was a spy, a tool of the state. He fought for the status quo. I was forced to eliminate him to save Rome. Maybe. What's clear is that somebody must take charge. The point was never becoming the king. It was that Rome needed a king in the first place. Someone who could cut through the endless dogshit coming out of the Senate. The blatant tribalism, the spiteful self-sabotage, the bribery and greed. We need someone who is willing and able to make difficult and unpopular decisions. If a decision is made for the right reasons, it can never be wrong. You think, of all the things a murderer might say to his victim, I agree. I didn't see it coming. Always thought you were a bit of a coward. Turns out I was wrong. It seems the park I intended my role to be in molding the first Emperor of Rome. When I am dead, your reign will begin.
Salve, Webius. I don't have much to say. Let me repay you for manipulating me and exploiting me your whole life.
Tiberius, you fool. You weakling. And now, you'll do the dirty deeds of...
Up!
It's finally over. It almost seems unreal. So many people have died. None of this needed to happen.
You have violated every single rule we set out to protect in the first place. You have killed Romans. Senators even.
There's one thing you get to decide for yourself now.
We must submit ourselves to the judgment of the Senate, as we discussed. Only then can we begin to undo some of the damage we have caused.
Are you stupid? Did you hit your head in battle? We will all be killed.
Not all of us. He will probably be condemned to death indeed, but we will not be punished as harshly.
We should not get punished at all. We should take over Rome and live like kings.
The Anira is right. Surrender will only lead to execution.
But, Magister, surely morals dictate that he should surrender. Doing anything else would be immoral, and thus make him a lesser man.
He is like my own child. He would be a lesser man, but a man who is alive.
They will not just let us go. We all attacked.
Well, I certainly do not want to be executed.
May I remind you what you have just said about the expected behavior of a moral individual?
I don't consider myself a particularly moral man yet.
I don't care about the philosophy of it. If you stay here, more people will die and the chaos will never end. We don't have to turn ourselves in if you're afraid of the consequences. I'm sure Cleopatra will protect you if you flee to Egypt. Please don't do this. I love you, but surely we did not stop a would-be king only to replace him with another.
My debt to you is repaid. I certainly don't owe you any support if you try to overthrow the Republic. It's clear there is no changing your mind. Perhaps this was your goal all along. Well then, this is goodbye.
I love you. If you truly believe this is the right thing to do, then I stand by you.
Good. Your love is stronger than all this.
So it was that the Republic of Rome, which had long rested on an unsteady foundation, was finally torn to the ground. From the rubble rose a new, strong empire. Though the institution of the Senate was maintained for centuries to come, all power was stripped from it and granted almost in full to the new ruler of Rome. From lost scion to legionarius to legatus and finally to emperor, the first citizen of Rome had broken with all traditions and betrayed the faith of many during his meteoric rise to power. But as much as those who once held power now loathed their new ruler, he was greatly beloved by the people of Rome, for whom life universally improved under his rule. As he built Rome up from a regional power to an empire spanning the continent, he came to be revered almost like a god. Old Cineros, the Emperor's most beloved Servus. Though he was free, he would not leave the side of his dominus until the day he died. He lived many more years in luxury and leisure, with access to the finest works of philosophy, and visited by great scholars from near and far. Freed of his domestic duties, he even found the time to author a great work of his own, a treatise on the topic of regret and forgiveness. Though its contents are lost to time, we must imagine that its completion brought him great satisfaction. Caeso left Rome with Lucia and their daughter. They traveled to Africa, as Caeso remembered the warm nights and the lush Nile Delta fondly. Here they found a place to settle and made a peaceful home for their family. Though their relationship was distant at first, their devotion to their child drew them together, and their affection for each other grew stronger through the years. To his surprise, Caeso took well to fatherhood, and soon he and Lucia had many more children. Callida's second marriage turned out considerably better than her first. With her beloved husband committed to letting her live her best life, she was happy to settle down by his side, supporting him in his endeavors as he supported her. Callida was happy to find that it was possible to be a wife and a mother without giving up the things she loved. She taught their children archery and horseback riding, and nobody ever again looked down on her for her unwomanly pursuits. Bestia stayed by the side of the Emperor of Rome, becoming the leader of a new imperial guard. Uncompromisingly loyal, he was an enforcer as much as he was a protector, and eventually he became one of the most feared men in the Empire. As soon as things had quieted down, Bestia traveled to Africa once more to look for his sister. He did find her and bring her home, and she lived happily there for the rest of her life. Once everything had settled down, Deianira returned to her homeland in Scythia, where she reconnected with her family. She brought some of them with her back to Rome, where they settled into a life of luxury. Though they would never feel quite at home in the city, they found that it was much easier to be outsiders together than alone. Deianira always remained loyal to her friends. Otellius Scaevola left Roman politics and moved to Upper Latium with his wife Liviana, where they raised their children together in peace. Cato withdrew from the Senate sometime during Rome's transition from Republic to Empire. The shift in the power balance that he had helped facilitate never sat well with him, and his disappointment in himself haunted him for the rest of his life. He never again entered politics, but nor did he ever join any of the early attempts to overthrow the new dictator. It seemed Cato's convictions had been taken from him. Cicero remained in the Senate, even after the institution had become a mere shell of what it once was. He saw his purpose as the voice of dissent, the most prominent leader of the opposition to Rome's new ruler. Though it could be argued that he was unsuccessful in saving or restoring the Republic, there is little doubt that his work brought about a more just empire. Pompeius left Rome and returned to Hispania. There he became the focal point of an effort to wrest Rome once more away from its new ruler, with an eye to restoring the lost Republic. The great general and his supporters raised 10 legions and marched upon Rome, where they were destroyed in a humiliating defeat. Pompeius then fled to Egypt, where he was murdered by an unknown party upon his arrival. With Mithridates dead and his sons lacking his ability to rule, Pontus was soon annexed by Rome. The region never again rose to prominence. With Theophilus in charge of Musia, the city-state remained a strong part of the Roman province of Asia Minor. Under his religious guidance, its temples grew wealthy, and it contributed many disciplined soldiers to the legions of Rome. Grateful for the mercy he had been shown, and no longer with Mithridates to tempt his greed, Damianos quickly resumed political leadership of Thracia. Here, the gladiator rebellion that had started in his school was threatening to spiral out of control. Thanks to Damianos, the gladiators were pacified quickly, and without inordinate bloodshed. Lunia's death sent Nazarmanes spiraling into a fractious conflict as greedy elders from minor tribes attempted to fill the void her passing had left behind. Though Queen Cleopatra attempted to bring the region under control, her attentions were too divided, the conflict too great for her to manage. Rome was forced to send more legions to enforce peace and stability with an iron fist. Though Africa Proconsularis eventually saw peace again, the traditions and culture of the Berber population were lost forever. Queen Cleopatra Philopator was, from the day of her coronation, a greatly beloved Queen of Egypt. Revered and admired by the population, she spent many of her days traveling up and down the Nile to visit her subjects and address their troubles and concerns. Under her rule, Egypt remained a powerful and prosperous nation and a strong ally of Rome. The fruits of the Nile flowed freely to the people of the Republic. After traveling all across Africa for many years, going wherever her instincts took her, Rhea eventually returned to Memphis and to the service of Tener at the Temple of Ubasti. When her mentor passed away, Rhea naturally assumed the mantle as High Priestess of the Cat Goddess. Though the old faith was dwindling, she was greatly beloved by many, and her temple prospered, always home to many, many, many cats. With Dionysius once more assuming rulership of the Aedui, the tribe maintained a strong alliance with Rome, and through it, they greatly prospered. With the aid of the Aedui, Gallia slowly unified under Roman rule, and civilization soon began to creep into those lands in the form of paved roads, aqueducts, and fortified Roman towns. In his old age, did the Druid ever regret hastening the absorption and suppression of his own faith and culture? We will never know. The defeat and death of Vercingetorix had reduced the once mighty Auvergne tribe to a myriad bickering chieftains. Without his vision, his charisma, and his resolve, there was no unifying figure to rally around, and no way for Gallia to resist their slow but inevitable assimilation into Rome. Perhaps if Vercingetorix had lived, some of their culture or religion might have survived in some form. But surely they must be grateful that civilization at last was brought to their lands. In this work, I have done my best to recount the history of this fascinating period, truthfully and accurately. As I have scoured the sources and spoken to many who claimed to have heard the story from someone who was there at the time, one thing that has stood out to me is the pivotal moments along the way, where our story could have turned out very differently. Could the Republic have continued without an emperor? I believe so, if the legatus had been willing to make the necessary sacrifices. But it is clear that the personal cost would have been great, as would the risk to the highly troubled Republic in the absence of leadership. In many ways, Rome was already an empire in want of an emperor. One should always take care when second-guessing historical figures with the benefit of hindsight. Here in the present, there will never truly be a way for you to know how you might have acted if you had lived in the past. Nor can you ever be certain how history will remember you.